So welcome, everyone, on this glorious morning that happens to be Earth Day. We are gathered to celebrate the life and legacy of a man we know as Lurton. We are gathered on Earth Day to dedicate this tree in his memory and in thanksgiving for all the ways he has made this church and this community a more vibrant, loving, and environmentally sustainable place. There are many members of FCC who hear and respond to God's call to care for creation. Many individuals and groups have worked faithfully and lovingly to honor, protect, and nurture this planet that, in the words of the ancient biblical prophets, God called very good. Lurton was one of those dedicated environmentalists, and for decades, here in this church and in this community, he was a man of service and vision. His death, a little over a year ago, left us all the poorer in our daily lives. But oh my, did his life leave us all richer in wisdom, integrity, and grace. Year after year, decade after decade, Lurton served this church and this community in ways that continue to challenge us to be better people and a better community. And although he is no longer with us in his body, his legacy lives on in this church and in this community and will live on in this tree. He is still here in your hearts. He is still here in this church. And he's also in Oshkosh, in the Riverwalk, in the parks, in the Northeast Wisconsin Land Trust, in the Symphony, the library, the Sustainability Advisory Board, the Environmental Advisory Board, and in so many other expressions of care for this earth. So it is beyond fitting that we gather on Earth Day to honor Lurton, to dedicate this tree in his memory, and to dedicate ourselves to prolong his legacy of generous service and care for the earth. In honor of Lurton, Kay Sanders will now read one of his favorite poems.
The Peace of Wild Things by Wendell Berry. When despair for the world grows in me, and I wake in the night at the least sound, in fear of what my life or my children's lives may be, I go and lie down where the wood drain rests in his beauty on the water, and the great heron feeds. I come into the peace of wild things, who do not tax their lives with forethought of grief. I come into the presence of still water, and I feel above me day-blind stars waiting with their light. For a time, I rest in the grace of the world and am free.
Thank you, Kay. And many thanks to Women's Fellowship. Linnell, will you help me unveil? We remember Lurton Blassingame, generous, visionary servant, a gentle man. We dedicate this tree in memory of Lurton Blassingame. May his legacy live on in us. May we watch this tree grow as we are called ourselves to grow in service, in love, in generosity, and in hope. Would you please join me in the prayer printed on your bulletin from the UN Environmental Sabbath Program. We join with the earth and with each other to bring new life to the land, to restore the water We join with the earth and with each other to celebrate the seas, to rejoice in sunlight, to sing the song of stars. We join with the earth and with each other to recreate the human community, to promote justice and peace, to remember our children. We join with the earth and with each other. We join together as many and diverse expressions of one loving mystery for the healing of the earth and the renewal of all life. Amen and amen. Thus ends our dedication ceremony.
People in the get right next to each other, but kind of gathered around so Jenny can get some